हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन गज जन रंजन, यामुना तीरवन चारि। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यामुना तिरवनचारि। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे बोल। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlad Ahlad Raine, Hiranyakashipo Vaksha, Shilatanka Nakhalaye, Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho, Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha, Bahir Nrsimho, Hridaye Nrsimho, Nrsimha Madhim Sharanam Prapade, Tav Kar Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhut Shringar Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bhringa Keshavadhita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Tav Kar Kamala Vare जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। जय केशव धृता नरा हरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। जय नरसिंह देव, नरसिंह देव, नरसिंह देव, जय नरसिंह देव। जय प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज। जय जय प्रभुपाद, 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 जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम भगवद गीता की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। Hare Krishna. So welcome to this one-day Yatra to a very, very nice, serene place called Kaivara. So are all of you having a good time today? ठीक है, it's a public place, we cannot control. कुछ नहीं कर सकते. This is a public place. Is the sound? Are you all able to hear me? आपको सुनाई दे रहा है? That side, can you hear me? Can you hear? Okay. So this Kaivara, I don't know. I'm coming for the first time. How many of you have come here before Kaivara? Okay, some people have come here before. Very nice. So please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just doing division of the word Kaivara, and I'm understanding Kai means hand, and Vara means the Lord who gives Varada, one who gives the boons, Varada. So Kaivara is a place where you can fold your hands and pray to the Lord. Of course, you can pray everywhere. Here also you can pray, back in Bangalore also you can pray, everywhere you can pray. But this place has been called as Kaivara. The Lord is in the mood of Varada. He is in the mood of giving benedictions. Now choice is up to us what kind of benedictions we want. Some people go to a king and ask for a pinch of ash and come back. There was one, Srila Prabhupada gives the example that there was one old lady, her daily job was to go into the forest, cut the woods, put it on her head, come back and cook This was her daily job. So one day, while she was in the forest all alone, cutting the woods, and when she was putting the woods on her head, the pile of woods was heavy, so it fell down from her head. And with a helpless heart, seeing herself alone and in a helpless situation, with a helpless heart, she chanted the names of Hari. She chanted the name Krishna, Govinda. And seeing such a helpless cry, Krishna actually came there. And he said, "What do you want?" She said, "Can you please pick up the bundle and put it back on my head?" Krishna was there in front of her. She could have asked for prema bhakti. She could have asked for attachment to the holy names. Or even if she's frustrated with this material world, she could have asked for liberation from this material world. But what she asked was, "Please pick up this pile of woods and put it back on my head." So today all of us are there in front of Amara Narayana. Before coming to this place, we saw a beautiful deity of something similar to Balaji. Amara Narayana. Did you all see that deity? So it is up to us what we ask from Amara Narayana, or it is up to us what we ask from Nrsimhadev. Option A, lots of money, so that all my EMIs can get solved, all my problems can get solved. I don't need to go to work from today. Itna paisa de do. This is one benediction you can ask. Another benediction you can ask, okay, let my family be very healthy, let me be very healthy. Let all of us have very healthy senses so that we can keep gratifying it as much as we want. We can digest as much as we want. We can enjoy as much. Sab sukh sampati ghar aave. Wealth should come and health should come. Without health, one cannot enjoy wealth also. So health you can ask. So like this, there are so many list of benedictions you can ask. But the most intelligent people, they will pray to Amara Narayan that please give me your prema bhakti. I've done enough of sleeping, enough of eating, enough of enjoyment and enough of defense in multiple lifetimes. This life, I want prema bhakti. And this is the only thing which I have come here to pray for. As Lord Chaitanya explains in Shikshashtakam, "Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhaktirahaitu kitvai." Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, he teaches us how to pray by this verse of Shikshashtakam. He says, "Na dhanam, I don't want money. Na janam, I don't want fan followers and people massaging my feet and giving me water and garland every time, wherever I go. Na sundarim, I don't want the opposite gender also. Kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, I don't want to become a great scholar, a great pandit." What do you want then? Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktirahaitu kitvai. Do you want liberation? My dear Lord, I don't even want liberation. Then what do you want? All I want is an opportunity to practice devotional service in an uninterrupted and unmotivated way. I want to do bhakti. How you can do bhakti? Only in the association of your devotees I can do bhakti. So my dear Lord, give me the association of your devotees. And in that association, I want to do bhakti which is ahaituki. Ahaituki bhakti means I am doing some bhakti and I don't want anything in return. Sometimes devotees also, they develop certain desires. I am chanting Hare Krishna, so my project should become successful. I am chanting Hare Krishna, so I should be able to build a temple. I am chanting Hare Krishna, so I should be able to build a Goshala. I am chanting Hare Krishna, so I am able to do this, that. So they attach some hetu to the practice of bhakti also. But why I want to do bhakti? I don't want anything in return, my Lord. The only thing which I want is a continued opportunity to do unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service in the association of your devotees. Today in Kaivara, I have come to spread my hands, my kai, and ask for this vara, that you give me ahaituki apratihata bhakti, so that I develop a strong desire to always be chanting your holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This is the reason why we have come to Kaivara. So choice is up to us what kind of a desire we will have, what kind of a vara we will ask. Since we are standing in front of Amar Narayan, the Lord will give us what we need. Had we been standing in front of Lord Shiva, He would have given us what we wanted. But Amar Narayan will not give us what I want. He will give us what we need. To my devotees, I carry what they need and I protect what they have. So that is the mood of Krishna. So Krishna, like a father, He will never give you anything which is not favorable for you. Strictly speaking, He will never give you something which is not favorable for your practice of bhakti. So this place is a very wonderful place, a very potent place, because it is connected to one of the pure devotees of the Lord, whose name is Narayana, and people call him by love Tataya. Means a grandfather. So Narayan Tataya. This is the spiritual significance of this place. This place where we are today has a very long or a very deep spiritual heritage, going back many, many yugas. Today, when we were there in the Amar Narayan temple, some of us were busy buying bangles, some of us were busy on phone, some of us were busy talking to each other. Some of you were chanting also, I saw. This Amar Narayan deity is not an ordinary deity. Would you like to hear the pastime or the historical significance of this deity? Probably after hearing it, you would like to go there again, not to buy bangles, not to talk on phone, not to talk to each other, but to pray to the deity again. So I'll tell you a story, a historical incident, which has happened many, many yugas ago. Once upon a time, there was a very noble, glorious king whose name was Chitraketu. He was very well behaved, very nicely trained, very glorious. His mind and his senses were nicely controlled. He was a great devotee of the Lord. All good qualities. He was a very nice Vaishnava. Anybody in the previous ages, it was seen, anybody whose mind and senses were properly controlled, that means those who were nicely trained by their spiritual masters in the Gurukul. And any father who had a daughter would like to offer them to that person. So therefore we would see that kings would have many, many wives. If you read Valmiki Ramayana, you will come to know Dashratha had 300 wives. Now because these men are properly trained to control their mind and senses, so they could handle so many wives also. People of Kali Yuga, men of Kali Yuga, they are very poor when it comes to mind and sense control. So therefore, they cannot handle their family. But the kings, the Raj Rishis were not like that. They could have multiple wives, but they would not be attached also to any of wives. They would be attached to Dharma. So their situation would be that they are attached to their spiritual master, and their spiritual master is attached to God, so they are attached to God, and all their family members are attached to them. So the direction was like this. But in Kali Yuga, the direction is like this, being pulled down. So Chitraketu was not like that. Although he was a young man, although he was very glorious, known to the demigods also, but he had one bad luck. You can call it as bad luck or good luck, whatever it is. His concern was that whichever wife he was marrying, it was not just a coincidence that every wife was not able to produce a child. So he was worried that who will carry forward this tradition, this lineage, not because of biological reasons, but because if a Raj Rishi does not have a descendant, then the practice of social projects, the practice of dharma, the practice of traditions, the practice of Pinddan, everything will be destroyed. Now in Kali Yuga, who cares for Pinddan? Nobody cares. We don't even know the name of anybody beyond our grandfather. नहीं मालूम ना उनका पिंडदान क्या करेंगे छोड़ो. Let's go to some nonsense place and eat rather. But Chitraketu was not like that, so he was concerned. So one of the great sages called Angira Rishi, he came there and then he inquired him. He asked him some questions. If we read Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can read those questions. These are the activities to be done by a king or a leader. These are the areas you have to take care. So he asked those 7 areas. Are these things working well for you? He said yes. Then Angira Rishi, although he knew the reason, he asked him, why are you sad? He said that the reason why I am sad is that because I don't have a descendant. Again, he was not sad because he didn't have a son. He was sad because he had no one to carry forward the principles of religion after him. So Angira Rishi said that, okay, you may have a son, I bless you, but that son will be the cause of happiness as well as distress. That son will give you happiness also and great sorrow also. Are you all with me till now? So he thought that probably, maybe I will get a son, he'll be little naughty, maybe, so he'll give me little unhappiness also, maybe. But it is good to have a son. So he became very happy. So from his first wife, whose name was Kritdyuti, immediately he begot a son. And the description of the son is that his face was like a moon, very beautiful small child. But then, this is material world, and Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya is always prevailing. So as he got a child from his wife, he started spending time with his child. He became very happy. The whole kingdom was very happy. But the other wives of the king, they became envious. That, the king is not spending time with us because we don't have a child. They became so envious. See how envy can corrupt someone, to what degree. These other queens, they gave poison to the small child. A small baby who cannot walk also, who is just depending on mother's milk. That baby was poisoned by the other queens. Now these queens are not some ordinary ladies who are just doing some work here. They are highly trained. They know dharma. They have been educated properly. They are not Kali Yuga product. They come from noble families where properly Garbhan samskaras have been followed. But no matter how good you are, no matter how well trained you are, if you allow envy to enter your heart, it will completely alienate you from God and the devotees of God. Just like Kaikeyi, she was such a nice queen, so nicely trained. Her heart was beating for Lord Ram, but she got bad association of another lady whose name was Manthara, and who inspired enviousness into the heart of Kaikeyi, as a result of which She was ready to give up God and the association of God's devotees also. So it's all about association. Lesson number 1. No matter how bad you are, no matter how disgusting you are, but if you somehow associate with the selfless devotees of the Lord, it is just a matter of time that you will become very happily situated in the practice of bhakti, and you will become a great personality, exalted personality. However, no matter how exalted you are, no matter how well trained you are, no matter how great you are, if you allow enviousness to enter your heart because of bad association, then it's just a matter of time that you will degrade very badly. So these queens, they poisoned the baby. So remember, Angira Rishi had told that this son will become the cause of your happiness as well as your distress. So the same thing happened. Now this king, he was very much disturbed. When he came to know, he came to the room where the dead child was there. He caught hold of the small feet of the child, and holding the feet of the child, he was crying. And all the other servants in the palace, they were crying. All the other queens, they were crying. The whole kingdom was crying. And in this way, many, many days passed away. He kept on crying and crying and crying. He went into basically some kind of a crying zone, always crying. So this time, Angira Rishi came along with his friend, and his friend was Narad Muni. Angira Rishi and Narad Muni, again they came there. And then he understood, Maharaj Chitraketu understood that Angira Rishi has come, Narad Muni have come. So he, in that stage also, see the culture and the training. That in a stage where he is not eating or sleeping, he is not doing his kingly duties, he is just crying. Even in that stage, when his son has died, even in that stage, when saintly people come, he has the consciousness to get up, offer respect, welcome them, and basically listen from them, attend to them. So this was his good quality. He did that. He welcomed Angira Rishi and Narad Muni, and then they started having a conversation. Because he had a conversation with Angira Rishi and Narad Muni, he could come out of that state of sorrow. Lesson number 2. Whenever we are in some deep sorrow, whenever we are in a hopeless, helpless situation, we should take association of pure devotees of the Lord who can tell us about the name, about the form, about the qualities of the Lord. And simply by hearing the Nama, Rupa, Guna and Leela, we will be able to come out of any stage of sorrow or any depression or any sad state of existence. From Shoka to Ashoka. If you want to go from the stage of Shoka to a stage of no Shoka, maybe you have to chant some shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, or you have to take association of those people who are chanting some shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, means basically the devotees of Krishna. So he heard from Narad Muni, and therefore Narad Muni gave him the summary of the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, when anybody passes away in anybody's family, we recommend read the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It helps you to understand who you are, how life works, how transmigration of soul works, and it helps you to experience stronger attachment to God. And when you get more attached to God, you get detached from things which are giving you sorrow. So after hearing from Narad Muni asked him to chant the names of Krishna. So he went on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this way he went on chanting for 5 days continuously. Now many of us may be thinking, we are chanting from 5 years, 50 years. What is so great deal if he is chanting continuously for 5 days? But the difference in the chanting of Maharaj Chitraketu and the difference in our chanting is that his chanting was offenseless. without committing any nam aparadh. What are the 10 offenses to the holy names of the Lord? When we chant Hare Krishna, there are 10 offenses, 10 aparadhs which we can make. 10 unwanted activities which we can do, which will not let us chant the holy name. What are they? The 10 offenses while chanting the holy names of the Lord are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who have dedicated their lives in propagating the holy names of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the names of Lord Vishnu. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master and considering him as an ordinary person. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Sixth, to give some mundane interpretations to the holy names of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy names of the Lord. Eighth, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. Ninth, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy names of the Lord. And 10th, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success of life, which is Krishna Prema. So these offenses Maharaj Chitraketu was not doing. Simply by chanting 5 days, when we quit our body, when we die, 2 things can happen. Number 1, either we can think of Krishna at the time of death and go back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, or we can continue to exist in this material world based on the thought process which we have at the time of death. This Maharaj Chitraketu, after chanting for 5 days, he was regularly bathing in the Yamuna. Those wives who had poisoned the child, because of the sinful activity which they did, they became very ashamed. They lost their bodily luster and they left the palace and they started residing in one of the tirthas, practicing basically some prayaschitta and chanting Hare Krishna. But Maharaj Chitraketu, who was submerged in an ocean of tears, he became very happy now simply by chanting the names of the Lord. He forgot everything about his dead child. He could experience great happiness in life. He could understand that the real purpose of life is to be a loving servant of God. And in this way, he was very meditating upon Sankarshana, one of the incarnations of Lord Krishna, Sankarshana. Sankarshana is that incarnation of the Lord on which Lord Shiva is also meditating. Sankarshana is basically the Anantashesh incarnation of the Lord, Anantashesh. That is why Lord Shiva also wears a snake, to remind himself of Sankarshana. Sankarshana has a very beautiful form. He wears blue color dhoti, 1 earring. His eyes are always very intoxicated out of love of God. And he's the greatest incarnation of serpents, Anantashesh. So Lord Shiva meditates on that, and Chitraketu was also meditating. So he achieved another body in another realm called as Vidyadhara Loka, where everybody is expert in all kinds of knowledge from birth only. And there he was constantly getting association of Sankarshana, and he was sincerely praying, rendering devotional service. In this way, In the higher realms of the universe, he kept flying in his aeroplane, which was not fueled by some gasoline or anything. It was a celestial aeroplane with thousands of other people in that plane chanting Hare Krishna. He was flying and he was always thinking of Krishna, never forgetting Krishna. In that way he was flying and flying and flying and flying. When Sri Hari saw his pure devotional service, which went on for thousands of years, he became very pleased with him. And he said that now my pure devotee Chitraketu has perfected his pure devotion. It is time that he comes back to the spiritual world. So how to bring Chitraketu to the spiritual world? That is what Sri Hari was thinking. Now nobody can understand why Krishna does something, why Lord Hari does something. Only he knows. So Lord Krishna had many pending matters to handle, many lessons to teach to the demigods. So he said that the quickest way in which I can get my devotee back to the spiritual world is to make him a demon. I'll make him a demon, and because demons get killed very quickly, so he will come back home also very quickly. But he should not be an ordinary demon. He should be a devotee demon. So it is not recommended for us to become devotee demon. For us it is recommended we become some kind of practicing devotee. But Chitraketu, the Lord wanted him very quickly. So he arranged the pastime. He arranged a way for him to become a demon. So Maharaj Chitraketu, along with thousands of other servants and devotees flying in the celestial aeroplane, was passing over Kailash one day. Now in Kailash, Lord Shiva was sitting and he was putting Mother Parvati on his lap and sitting. Parvati was sitting here and Lord Shiva was also sitting. And in front of Lord Shiva was Narad Muni, who is a brahmachari. The 4 Kumaras, also a brahmachari. So in front of brahmacharis, Lord Shiva was putting his wife on his lap and sitting. So just like all of you are a little bit smiling now. So not out of enviousness, Chitraketu knew that I am also a devotee of Sankarshana and Lord Shiva is also a devotee of Sankarshana. So we both worship the same Lord. So in one way we are brothers, in one way. So from his aeroplane, he said, just look at Lord Shiva. Now, he is supposed to be the greatest teacher of dharma, but in front of renunciants, he is sitting with his wife on his lap. Not even next to her, but wife on the lap. And like this he said, and he laughed a little bit. Lord Shiva did not feel bad. He also laughed because he knew that both of us are devotees of the Lord. Sometimes we are joking with each other. So Lord Shiva was thinking in his mind that in your aeroplane you have 10,000 servants. All those servants are ladies. And you are laughing at me, huh? So like that Lord Shiva was smiling. And he was also smiling. Both of them were discussing. But Mother Parvati, she misunderstood. She misunderstood the position of Chitraketu. She misunderstood the mood of her husband. So therefore she became very angry. And what she did was, she criticized Chitraketu, saying that just look at you, Chitraketu. Earlier, just few years ago, you were in an ocean of tears crying for your son. Just because you got a little bit mercy of the Lord and now you are a Vidyadhara flying in the sky, you are criticizing Lord Shiva. Do you know what is his position? I curse you that you will become a demon. So this happened by whose will? It happened by the will of the Supreme Lord himself. But when she cursed Chitraketu, There have been other instances where people have been cursed. So generally, when a powerful person is cursed, generally they counter curse also. मेरे को दिया हम भी देंगे तुमको. But Chitraketu was not like that. When he received the curse, he came down from his aeroplane. He offered his obeisances to Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, and he said that you are my mother. If you have given this curse to me, it is the will of the Lord. Because mother cannot wish ill for the child. So therefore, from your mouth, if curse has come, that means it is the will of the Lord, and I accept it with all my heart. At that time, Lord Shiva comments, Narayana para sarve na kutaschana bibhyati swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyartha darshanam. My dear Parvati, Lord Shiva says, my dear beautiful wife, look at the devotees of Narayana. Narayana para sarve na kutaschana bibhyati swarga apavarga narkeshu. Whether you put them in a heavenly planetary situation, whether you put them in the earthly planetary systems, or whether you put them in a hellish planetary system, basically whether you put them in happiness or distress, it does not matter to them. Api tulyartha darshanam. They see every situation as same situation, because in every situation they have their japmala and they have their bhagavatam with them. So therefore, you are thinking that you have cursed him and you have disturbed him or affected him or destroyed him. He will continue to chant Hare Krishna. You have cursed him to become a demon. He will continue to practice bhakti in a demon's body also. You do not know what you just did, Parvati. You cursed a devotee of Narayana. So when Parvati heard this, when she understood what she has done, she put her sari on her head and hid her face. And then something very strange happened. One incident is connected to many other incidents. Are you all with me till now? We are in Kaivara, and I am telling you the spiritual significance of Kaivara. Many incidents are connected to each other. After that, another person made a mistake. Indra. He was sitting in the heavenly planetary system in a place called Amravati, which is the capital of Swargalok. Those whose heart is not free of gross lust, anger and greed, they cannot enter that place also. In that place, Indra sits. And he was surrounded by all the opulences, all the Gandharvas, Charanas, Kinnaras, Vidyadharas, they were surrounding him. Full description is given of his opulence. And at that time, the teacher of Indra, Brihaspati, the professor of all the demigods, he was coming. On a previous occasion, Brihaspati had brought a garland offered to Lord Narayan and gave it to Indra. Indra took that garland, smelled it, and then gave it to Airavata. Airavata took it like this, did like this, put it down and stamped it. So Brihaspati said that, my dear Indra, you have become very puffed up of your position. You think that everything which you have is because of your own strength and your own talent and your own valor. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Only an idiot thinks that he is the doer. An intelligent person thinks that everything is carried out by the modes of material nature, by which I am also affected, and ultimately the Lord is the doer. But you are starting to think that you are the doer. You are a very idiot person. Because you have become puffed up of your situation, very soon, you will have to say miseries. But Indra said, we'll see later. You are advising me, huh? You were a guru of me at one point of time. Now I am quite intelligent. I'll take advice from you. Shut up. So, of course, he didn't say shut up and all, but he considered his spiritual master to be an ordinary person. And he did not seriously, a sincere disciple, what he should have done, as soon as the guru is identifying a mistake, he should have got down from the Airavat, said sorry, take the garland, give respect. Lesson learned here. Giving respect to Krishna means giving respect to Krishna, the other plenary incarnations of Krishna, the paraphernalia of Krishna, the devotees of Krishna, the Dham of Krishna. Everything when you respect, then you are respecting Krishna. Otherwise, you cannot say that I love you, my dear Lord, but your devotees are useless, man. I don't want to be with them. What this kind of a garland nonsense? I want some better garland. So Indra was somehow disobeying his spiritual master and considering him to be an ordinary person. So therefore what happened, after a few days when Brihaspati came again to his sabha, to his court, it is said that when a disciple sees his spiritual master, as soon as he sees, he should offer obeisance. Then when he is in a distance where he is able to see properly, as soon as he hears of the spiritual master, he should offer obeisance. As soon as he first sees him, he should offer obeisance. And then when he comes close to the spiritual master, he should offer obeisance. 3 times he should offer obeisance. But Brihaspati has come and he has sat down in the court, but Indra is like, aa gaye, kya baith jao. He did not get up and respect him and welcome him. So Brihaspati understood that his mind is fully contaminated. So Brihaspati disappeared from the court of Indra. And then Indra understood that now my teacher has left. I have disrespected my teacher. As a result of which I will no longer have his guidance. So therefore I will struggle in my life now. Now Indra is more opulent than all of us sitting here. हम लोग जितने लोग इधर बैठे हैं, हमारे पास उतना धन वैभव ऐश्वर्य नहीं है. इनफैक्ट हमको धन वैभव ऐश्वर्य का मतलब भी नहीं पता है ठीक से. हमारे लिए हमारा EMI खत्म हो जाए, हम धनी हो गए. That is the meaning of our life. But Indra is not like that. He is rich beyond our imagination. And his richness is not just gross things. His richness is various other activities also. It is said that Indra never loses a battle. That is also an opulence. It is said that Indra can easily control his senses, whichever senses he wants. Indriya. He can control all his, that's why he got the name Indra. So these are also opulences. If somebody is able to memorize various verses and quote it at will, that is also an opulence. So amongst all the material opulences, Indra is the most materially opulent person. But he also needs a guru. Some people think I need guru only when I come to our bhakti center. Or I need a teacher only on Sundays. Monday to Saturday, I know what is best to do. What nonsense these teachers, chanting Hare Krishna. No, Indra was not like that. Indra understood that all my opulence is a waste without the guidance of my spiritual mind. In fact, he felt very bad and he cursed himself that to hell with all this opulence. So he went on finding Brihaspati, but he could not find. Ultimately, all the devatas, along with Indra, they went to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma scolded the devatas that what you have done is something very stupid. You have disrespected, disobeyed your spiritual master. So they said, what to do now? He said, you are in a very pitiable situation. By the way, in between, the demigods, the enemy party is always ready to attack also. When they came to know that the devatas, they do not have a spiritual master, immediately, and the demons, headed by Maharaj Bali, they had attacked the heavenly planets and they defeated the devatas also. So once they got defeat, then they realized, oh, Guru is necessary. It is said that in the heavenly planetary systems, there is no misery. Everybody will be happy for 4 or 5 yugas, but after 4 or 5 yugas, one demon will attack. And at that time, life will become hell. He will ask you to leave your house. He will ask you to get out of surrender your bank balance and all those things. And then they will struggle. And then when their senses will be in proper shape, then they will again get back their opulence. And then again 4 or 5 yugas of sense gratification, again one demon will attack. So that is the misery of the people in the heavenly planets. So this time they went to Lord Brahma कि हम लोग तो हार चुके हैं अब कोई hope नहीं लग रहा है. What we should do? So Lord Brahma advised them that you need a teacher first, you need a guide. Do I need a guide? Answer is yes. We all need a guide. So then Lord Brahma advised that you go to this person. He is the son of another very exalted personality called Twashta. His name is Vishwaroop. He is such a nice practicing devotee that he will help you. So Indra and all the other demigods, in order to get spiritual strength, in order to get blessings, in order to become opulent again, this is the problem with the devatas. They go to their higher authorities not for bhakti, but for bhukti or enjoyment. But they want to do enjoyment in the mode of goodness. Their enjoyment is not a bottle or some Netflix or some, they don't enjoy like that. They are like they really want to have banana leaf plates and on that little halwa, little uppit. Some people got pongal, some people didn't get chutney. This is the kind of enjoyment they want. How many of you liked today's breakfast? Please raise your hands. So this is the kind of enjoyment devatas want. They want to come to Kaivara and eat. They don't want to eat in their homes. See, this is a confirmation. When you get a call or when you say something and immediately a lizard makes noise or a noise comes, this is a shastra which says this is correct. So devatas also want this kind of enjoyment in the mode of goodness. So for that enjoyment they went to another sage called Vishwaroop. Although Vishwaroop was very younger to them in terms of qualification, in terms of knowledge and in terms of spiritual advancement. But the devatas, they accepted him as guru. Why? Because higher authority told. Some people have a problem. You have asked me to work with him. You have asked me to work with her. I only brought that person here. Now you are asking me to report to them. But Indra did not have this problem. So, under the guidance of Vishwaroop, all the devatas, they got back their vaibhav, their whatever they had lost opulences, they got it back. And then Vishwaroop gave Indra a kind of prayer which is called as Narayana Kavach. Narayan Kavach is a prayer which only demigods can chant. Human beings cannot chant that prayer. For example, if I make a statement that only a human being can get inside an aeroplane, a frog cannot. Do you understand? So similarly, when I say only devatas can chant the Narayana Kavach prayer, human beings cannot. I hope you understand. There are few things which many human beings cannot do. Most of the human beings. So Narayana Kavach human beings cannot have, but human beings can always wear tilak on their body, which is also a protective shield. Every day, all the devotees, they put 12 tilaks on their body. What are they? Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnave Namaha, Om Madhusudanaya Namaha, Om Trivikramaya Namaha, Om Vamanaya Namaha, Om Sridharaya Namaha, Om Rishikeshaya Namaha, Om Padmanabhaya Namaha, Om Damodaraya Namaha, Om Vasudevaya Namaha. So these are the 12 tilaks which we wear every day. This is our kavach. This protects us from very inauspicious things. But Indra was wearing a different kind of kavach called Narayan Kavach. One day one lady had come to me. She said that I am pregnant. Please give me Narayan Kavach. I said, how is it possible for me to give? Then I was thinking that she should read first. Then I told her to read. Then she understood. Yeah, okay. Then what I should do? I said, put 12 tilaks. That is enough. So, with the help of the guidance of Vishwaroop, Indra again got back his opulence. But then Vishwaroop From his father's side, he was friendly to the demigods. But from his mother's side, he had some connection with demons also. So whatever benefit used to come from his activities, one part of it he used to give to the demons also. कि सबका दुकान चलना चाहिए, सबका why only one person should benefit? Why should the rich become richer and the poor become poorer? Everybody should, सबका साथ सबका, ऐसा विश्वरूप बोल रहा था. और हम लोग सोचते हैं ये किसी का ओरिजिनल स्टेटमेंट है. बट इंद्रा डिड नॉट लाइक इट. इंद्रा सेड सबका विकास कैसे होगा, विकास सिर्फ हमारा होना चाहिए. एंड देन व्हाट ही डिड, ही टुक आउट हिज sword and he cut the head of Vishwarup, who was a teacher, who was their teacher, Brahmana, not just by birth but by qualification also. How much desperate Indra would have been at that time. So this is how desperate the game of power makes you. This is how desperate the game of throne makes you. Whenever it is said that if you want to test someone's character, give them power, give them authority, give them leadership, and then you will come to know what kind of a person they are. So Indra by nature is not a bad person, but because of so many responsibilities and so many people behind him, he has to think of their favor also. These demigods, they don't want to harm others. But the demons, they want to harm others. So Indra was thinking that just now, hundreds of years of battle is over. Why again power should be given to these demons whose mind and senses are not controlled? That was Indra's opinion. But Vishwarup was saying, no, sabka saath, sabka vikas hona zaruri hai. So Indra thought that my decision is correct. Again, he did not consult any superior. Kachak. And then the head got cut and he died. The father of Vishwarup, are you all with me till now? What just happened? Indra killed Vishwarupa. Vishwarup had 3 heads, by the way. Things are much beyond our imagination. If a person can have a human body and a monkey face like Hanuman, then why can't a Brahmana have 3 heads? Just because we cannot understand these things, we call it as mythology. Whenever we see some deity or vigraha, we say statue. These are all degrading and disrespectful terms to use. Never call Vedic culture or Vedic literature as mythology. Mythology means that which never happened, it's a myth. Just like you having a day when there will be no EMI is a myth. It is mythology. EMI khatam hoga, kuch aur kar lenge. There was a fisherman. He was so used to the smell of fish that one day it was raining, he was stuck, and one gentleman gave him place in his house where some jasmine flowers were kept. He asked him, you sleep there. After 2 hours he got up, not able to sleep without the smell of fish. So he went out, put the basket of fish in front of him. अब अच्छा लग रहा है, normal लग रहा है. So वैसे somehow some people have become like that. Until unless I am neck deep in EMIs, normal feel ही नहीं होता मुझे. What is life without a monthly bill of 3 lakh rupees? Life is useless. What is the meaning of simple living and high thinking? It should be high living and no thinking. Anyway, I'm just joking. So when Vishwarup was murdered by Indra, not out of envy, but because of political pressure from different agencies of this universe, Indra was repenting what he has done. He got sinful reactions. For a long time he was suffering because of the sinful reaction of killing a Brahmana. But because Indra is the leader of all the devatas and the managerial affairs of this universe are meant to be taken care of by him, in his absence things were going crazy. So he got a suggestion that why don't you divide your sinful reactions amongst various people and come back and resume the position of Indra. So Devatas can do this, human beings cannot do. Don't think that you can also divide yours. So he divided his sins in 4 parts. 1/4 of the sin he gave to the land. And that is why land had a problem, that earlier the laws of nature were different. Earlier, if you would make a hole in the land, for millions of years the hole would remain like that. So the land said, you give me a benediction that if there is any hole or any uneven surface, it will get filled automatically. So Indra said, okay, granted. And in return, I take 1/4 of your curse. As a result, I will have some deserts on me. Another 1/4 of the curse was taken by the trees. So as a result of which, the trees, when the twigs are broken, it regrows. Earlier, the twigs once broken would never regrow. The twigs started regrowing, and then the result of that curse was that sap or liquid comes out from few trees. It is considered very inauspicious. It is not to be drunk. That is the result of the curse on the trees. 1/4 of the curse was taken by women. Women said that we are not able to engage in sexual activity throughout the year or all the time. So we want a benediction that we can engage whenever we want. If you can give us this benediction, we will ready to take 1/4 of the curse. So Indra said, okay, fine. So he gave the power or the potency to women to engage in sexual life whenever they want. But as a result of 1/4 of the sin of Indra by killing Vishwarup, because of his sin, the ladies have to go through menstrual cycle. And finally, remaining 1/4 of the curse was taken by water bodies, as a result of which there are bubbles in water body, foam. And when the water body has foams and bubbles,